all of that into my Funday. Thank you, good evening, and welcome to our portion of the show. Welcome to an evening of grand illusion. Here this evening, you are going to see people appear and disappear right in front of your very eyes. Let me switch this forward just like this. Levitation. You're going to see something or someone float in the air right here tonight in Woodbridge. India. I brought with me an illusion that is 3,000 years old, but I've managed to add a few new wrinkles to it anyway. Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means change, or the modern word morphing. In a fraction of a second, you're going to see Kim and myself morph into one another. Escapes. I brought with me some Harry Houdini escape equipment. I'm going to get locked inside of these things and try to get out of them. Comedy. I do have a couple of comedy audience participation routines during the act, so I will need the help of a couple of volunteers. However, I will not embarrass anybody, and I will not, nothing is prearranged, so forth. So if I ask you to come up, please come on up. Newspaper. Going to do sleight of hand with something as ordinary as today's newspaper. And toy animals. There's no kids here tonight, but we're all kids at heart, so I brought something especially for all the kids. And that brings us back to grand illusion. These are the things that you're going to see us perform here this evening. These are all the things that you're going to see us perform, but what we do next is up to you. Well, actually, it's not up to you. It's up to you. There's a gentleman right here in the front row. I just need you to come here for just a second, right on the floor, just like this. I want you to select any one of these things. Now, it could be the grand illusion, it could be the levitation, it could be the Indian. It could be any one of these cards that I want you to select. But I have an idea of what card you're going to select. Stay right there. I want to show it to the rest of the audience. Here's the card that I think the gentleman will pick. I don't want you to see this card, but this is the card that I think the gentleman is going to pick. I'm going to place the card on the easel right over here. This card right here. Just like that. Now I'm going to have the gentleman pick from an identical set of cards. Remember that he can pick the grand illusion card. He can pick the levitation card. He can pick the India card. He can pick the metamorphosis card. He can pick the escapes card. He can pick the comedy card, of course. Or he might even pick the newspaper card, or he might pick the toy animal card. So he could pick any one of these cards, but which card he picks has yet to be seen. Let me spread them all out for you, sir. Just point to any one of the cards, if you would, please. Right down here. This one right down here. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to come right here, if you would please, and turn towards the spotlight, if you would please. I want you to hold this card against your chest, if you would please, just like that. Now, if that card matches this card, it could mean ESP. Let's see. Now, let me go right over here. The cord will extend. I think it will. Very good. I want you to turn towards the spotlight, if you would please. Now, for the first time, I want you to look at the card and in a big, loud voice into the microphone, read what it says on the card and tell me what you'd like me to do next. Bring back the girl. You know, you just read, just don't end this. Just tell me. Bring back the girl. You know, that was not one of the original choices. But I should have known that someone like you would have picked a card like this. Sit right back down. As a matter of fact, I did know that someone like you would pick a card like this, which is why over here I put a card that exactly matches. So I'm going to take your advice. Okay, you can start the music now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet the company part of Fort Thomas and Company. Please say hello to the lovely and talented Miss Kim Bajor. onward, forward. Jimmy, just put in the next one. Thank you. Some people call me a magician, but a much more accurate word for what I am is an illusionist. Because actually, I stand here and create a series of theatrical illusions that look very much like magic, but of course couldn't be. This is the illusion of the hole in a piece of newspaper. It's just a sheet of newspaper that I ripped a big hole in, and there it is. A piece of paper and two empty hands. Now, some people see the illusion, and some people see the reality of the situation. Some people think they saw a circle, but in just a moment, you'll see that circle magically metamorphosize into a square. That's the illusion, of course, because if it was really a square, it would look something like that. This next illusion is not the biggest thing that I do, but it is the favorite thing that I do, because I get to sit down while I'm doing this one. This is the illusion of the torn paper. In this effect, I apparently take a copy of today's USA Today and rip it to shreds, and then by the sheer magic of mental concentration, I'll restore it back to these original 4 pages. So that you remember the newspaper when you see it again, please remember a picture, or an advertisement, or anything that you'll remember when you see the newspaper again. There's the back page, there's the front page, and now the illusion begins, and now the music begins. I call this an illusion because I never what it says right here in USA Today. It says the weather's great for Carl Bajor's Magic Funday. Now comes the magic part of the trick. This is where I take all of the pieces of the newspaper and put them back together again. So that as you can see, the newspaper is completely restored. Not. You don't believe me? Just take a look at the pieces. There are many classics in magic. You've seen several of them performed here this evening. I now have my own version of one of the classics that I would like to show you. As soon as Kim has that on, I'm going to need Jimmy to bring on the other table. There. That one. Let's see if we can get this on and off. Something a little bit different here. Or just press the buttons. The noisiest trick you ever saw. I've had the great pleasure. Whoops, where are you? Get this over here. I've had the great pleasure of traveling much of the globe on cruise ships performing these illusions. And recently I was in India, and there we saw the Indian magicians and fakirs present their illusions right on the street, completely surrounded by the audience. Now I saw something there that I liked so much, I wanted to bring it here and show it to you here this evening. Now this basket illusion was being performed on top of an elevated platform, so that you can see underneath the basket and know that there are no trapdoors involved. Ladies and gentlemen, the famous Indian basket illusion. Music, please.